Now let's look at the most popular types of work that you will get in internships. In due diligence, you're actually reviewing a lot of times different contracts, right? And then you're drafting parts of the due diligence report. Those tables you make go into the due diligence report as annexures a lot of times. Or sometimes the data is taken from those tables and it's aggregated and the associate prepares a new annexure. A lot of times you will be drafting, if you're lucky, some parts of the report yourself. You will draft the observations, you will draft the action points. And you will realize when you see the associate write and you see yourself write, you'll be like, my writing sounds so, you know, not fluent, a little, it sounds stuck up, it sounds too technical, it sounds like I'm using too many words, but I have to say what's right because I'm a lawyer, can't say things inaccurately. But you see an associate's writing, it's got that smooth flow and polish. They are filtering out certain issues. And when you look at your own writing, you'll be like, how do I filter out this? How can I decide what's important or not? This happened a lot for me. Then looking up regulatory filings and pulling out disclosures that emanate from contracts. Okay, based on this you will draft emails. Sometimes the regulatory filings will involve some kind of contract, or there will be a resolution which refers to a contract. So it's not strict drafting work, but it connects to drafting skill. Okay, and a lot of time, and this kind of work has drafting skills embedded in it. Okay, because you'll read it and then you'll draft something next. Okay, it's not pure play contract drafting work. This is the closest, proofreading work is the closest you will get to proper contract drafting work. Okay, and here if you can add in a few comments, few high value inputs, that will really clinch the deal for you as far as your career is concerned. And you need to do it regularly with different types of contracts. You don't know which senior in which law firm is going to get which contract when. Okay, so there's a lot of uncertainty. One day you may get a license agreement, an IP license agreement. Another day you may get a shareholders agreement. Another day you may get a services agreement. Another day you may get a stock option plan. Another day you may get an articles of association. So it can go pretty wild. Okay, so proofreading work is the closest hint that yes, I am close to drafting. Preparing first drafts of various kinds of legal notices is another work where you will be doing real drafting. This can come your way. What are the kinds of legal notices? There are regular notices under various contracts. There could be arbitration notices, notices to commence arbitration. There could be notices to cure or rectify a contractual a breach under the contract that is written under the contract. 30 days notice must be given, and only a failing that the dispute resolution proceedings will be initiated. You could have regular legal notices sometimes to take like a consumer action. Okay, you could have responses to legal notices. You could have takedown notices under IP law and technology law. Okay, so various kinds of notices can be there. Some are statutory, some are purely contractual. Okay, you could have affidavits to draft. You could have various kinds of certificate formats to draft. There's something called like a CP satisfaction certificate, which basically is a list of all the conditions precedent and the fact that they've been completed, and you'll draft that these are the conditions. You'll prepare a checklist first, and then you'll draft a model certificate. You may get various kinds of resolutions to draft. So for major corporate transactions, you will get the resolution to draft. The company secretaries will give it to the corporate lawyers that give us the board resolution for this purpose. Okay, you will get a lot of document mapping work. What is document mapping? Connecting one clause to another. Like you will compare two documents and cross reference. You will map that, okay, this has the eviction clause here or the tag along clause here. Where does the other contract have it? Okay, so you will compare two documents and then make tables and cross reference the matching clauses. Case research or statutory research usually has no contract drafting skills involved unless there's a contract in respect of which there is a litigation. There you will have to understand how to connect different clauses, and if you've not read enough contracts, you don't understand deals well enough, you will struggle with it because you will go off in the wrong direction researching the wrong propositions. Then a lot of times this will happen. You will make notes to brief seniors. You will make first draft of advice or opinion. Okay, for this law firms have different formats. Okay, But it's not about the format. It's about writing the argument and answering client queries in a particular way. Okay, so client queries are not like the query, like an issue that is framed by a court ka judge, right? In civil procedure court, the judge will frame issues on which he will decide a judgment. Your client's queries could be various. They look like issues, but they are like, do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Will this be triggered? Will this not be triggered? It will happen a lot. It will be very conversational, and it will require use of law. Like, you will have to apply your legal knowledge, and you will need to review the contract if there's any, and then you'll have to write it all down in the memo, putting it all together, and it can't look broken. People struggle with sequence, they struggle with flow, they struggle with bringing out issues that they've spotted, and they struggle with giving the final answer. Final answer would be in terms of yes, no, can't say. That clarity has to be there. Can't say because ABCD, this is what you should do next to get clarity, like that.